So for this one I chose a gray and a yellow yarn. These are both white. And then I'm using a 5mm hook for this. So to get started, you want to take your yarn and make a slip knot just like you start any project. And now you're going to chain 25. Okay, so I chained 25, so this is how big my thing's going to be. So now what I'm going to do is skip the first 2 chains on my hook, and I'm going to the third, and I'm going to place a herringbone double crochet. So if you don't know how to do a herringbone double crochet, I have posted my video with the tutorial of how to do that down below. So what you're going to do, just briefly, is yarn over, insert your hook, and pull through there. So you're going to place herringbone double crochets all the way down your row. So meet me back here when you finish that. Okay, so now that I finished my first row of herringbone double crochets, this is a really good place to stop and check to make sure that you have the right number of stitches. So you should have 24 herringbone double crochets, and that is including the first 2 chains. So chain 2 is 1, and then you should have 23 actual herringbone double crochets. So just count, make sure you have that many before you move on, because it's not fun to have to take apart your whole project. So now what you're going to do is you're going to chain up 1, 2, and you're going to turn your project. And now for row 2, you want to place another row of herringbone double crochets. So in every stitch across, you're going to place one. So your chain 2, remember, counts as your first stitch. So you're going to skip your first 2 chains and your first stitch, and you're going to place your first herringbone double crochet into your second stitch there. And just continue this all the way down this row. So now when you get to the end, make sure that you're getting this chain 2 space. You really don't want to leave that out, or else your project is not going to work out. It's going to be uneven, and that's just not what you want. So now that you have this row, we're going to start our first row of bobbles. So this is why we did the 24. So what you want to do is chain up 1, and you're going to place 1 single crochet in the first 3 stitches. So when you chain up 1, you do place it into the first stitch. So you're going to place 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and now we're going to place our first bobble here. So if you don't know how to do a bobble, you can watch my video, which I've linked down below. So bobble. So when you're making this, you want to do it 5 times so that you end up with 6 chains. So you end up with 6 chains on your hook. So then you yarn over, and then you're going to single crochet 3 more. So this is 1, and this is 2, and then place another bobble. So you're just going to continue this all the way down the row. Okay, so now when you get to the end of your row, you should have 4 stitches left. So I just did 1 single crochet, then 2, and 3, and don't forget to get this last one, chain 2 space. And there you go. So you should have 5 bobbles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bobbles. Now, so now we're going to chain up 2. We're going to turn our work. So now this row we're going to do, it's going to be a combination of herringbone double crochets and single crochets. So what you want to do is place a herringbone double crochet in each of the single crochet spaces from the row before, and place a single crochet in the top of your bobbles. So you're going to chain up 2 and then yarn over. You're going to skip this first one that counts as your first herringbone double crochet. So you should have herringbone double crochet here. Oops, messed up. And then another herringbone double crochet. And then another one right in that space there. And then the top of my bobble, I'm going to do a single crochet. And that's just going to help make the row nice and even though I have those bigger stitches. So now I should have 3 herringbone double crochets to do here. Doing that all the way down the row. So remember, herringbone double crochet in every single crochet space from the row before, and then place a single crochet in each of the bobbles. Okay, so at the end of your row, this is what your project should look like so far. So you just finished the row of herringbone. So in this row, you should have 19 herringbone double crochets and 5 single crochets in the top of every bobble. So now you're gonna chain up 2 for row 5. In this row, you're just simply going to place a herringbone double crochet in each chain along. Remember that chain 2 counts as your first one, so you skip that first stitch. So just go ahead and do that herringbone double crochet. Okay, so you should have just finished your 6th row, and what we're going to do is actually change colors. Let's just cut off your yarn and tie this off, and then you're going to take your second colors. I'm doing yellow. I'm going to take this end and I'm going to place it right into this, my first stitch here. And I'm just going to tie this end on. So you tie it on and then place your hook through the loop, you're going to pull through and then just chain up 2. And you're good to go. So this row is going to be another row of herringbone double crochet. So I chained up my 2. Now I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to herringbone double crochet all the way across. So once I finish this row of the yellow, I'm just going to chain up 2, and then row 8 is going to be the same thing. I'm just going to skip that first stitch and herringbone double crochet all the way back the other way. So go ahead and do that and meet me back. Okay, so once you finish row 8, which is your second row of herringbone double crochets in color number 2, you're going to make another row of bobbles. So you're going to chain up 1 and turn the work. So now for these bobbles, we're going to stagger them so that they line up in between the bobbles from this row. So what we're going to do is single crochet into the first stitch right here, and then in the next stitch we're going to place our first bobble. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and then pull through and then single crochet into the next stitch. So that's 1, and now we're going to do 2, 3 stitches in between each one. So we placed our first one here so that it lines up right over here so that it staggers. And then we're just going to continue with this, so on every 4th stitch now. So you place 3 single crochets and then you're going to place another bobble. Okay, so once you finish your last bobble, you should have 2 stitches left. So 1, and then make sure you get that last one. 2. Okay, so now we're gonna chain up 2. Flip it around so now you can really see how they're lined up differently. So on this row you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bobbles and then 18 single crochets between. You can chain up 2, you just skip this first stitch, and right here you're going to place your first herringbone double crochet, and then the single crochet in the next one because it's on top of the bobble, and then herringbone double crochet. So again, this row is herringbone double crochet in every single crochet space from the last row, and then a single crochet in every bobble space. Okay, so at the end of this row you should have 18 herringbone double crochets and 6 single crochets. So then you're going to chain up 2 and turn it, and then you just place a herringbone double crochet in each stitch. Okay, so if you changed colors, you're going to want to change back at this point. So cut your yarn off and tie it off, and then go back to your first color, and then chain up 2, and then you're going to place a herringbone double crochet in each stitch across again. Okay, so just like any other row, you're going to chain up 2, and then you're actually going to place 4 more rows of the herringbone double crochet. So all you do is herringbone double crochet across, chain up 2, across, up 2, across. So you're going to do 4 more rows and then meet me back. Now we're going to add another row of bobbles. So what you're going to do is chain up 1, turn your work around, and single crochet in the first 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then place your first bobble. And then single crochet 3 more. 2, 3, and then place your next bobble, and just continue that all the way down this row. Single crochet 3 and then place a bobble. So when you get to the end of this row, when you do your last bobble, there should be 4 single crochets left, so just make sure you're not missing any at the end. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then this one is 4. And then you're going to chain up 1, and now you're going to chain up 2, and then flip your work over, and then you're going to skip that first one, place a herringbone double crochet in each of the single crochet spaces from the last row, and place a single crochet in the top of every bobble. Okay, so now to finish this off, what you're going to do is just chain up 2, and we're just going to place 2 more rows of herringbone double crochets, and then the crochet part of this project is done. You just have to add all the tassels and attach it to your stick, which I'm going to show you how to do in another video. I'm going to link the part 2 down below. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel.